Alrighty. This week, 26? Is that right? Was it?
I thought it was 26 last week.
It might have been 26 last week. Uh, yes, it was 26 last week. Welcome to episode 27. Yes, let me update the title. There we go. Welcome to episode 27. Y'all just got through some spooky shit. First, you fought off some ogres. That was fun. Or were they orcs? They were orcs, weren't they? I'm misremembering things. The O names for monsters. Yes, they were orcs, of course. One of you knew Orcish. I believe that was Ogden. And you attempted to negotiate with them, but it very quickly failed. Or I guess you attempted to intimidate them, rather, and that very quickly just led to a combat. But you easily dispatched them, moved on, and then you saw some spooky shit. The land around you all twisted and decayed, and you all basically saw into an abyss-corrupted version of the landscape around you. But even though these visions were tearing at your mind and you were hearing these crazy noises and there was just psychic damage going out left and right, you all pushed through and you ended up making it through a combination of some natural rituals and some occult rituals and things. You put up some warding runes and warding sigils and eventually drove this power out, and then Ayala summoned some wind to burst this magic up into the sky and out of the area. And so you dispelled this curse that was on the region, and you were able to get closer to the Scar, which is the home base of this cult of Lamashtu in the area, whom you are investigating. There was a puzzle door you found. It's late at night at this point, maybe 9 p.m., but you did manage to get it open. So, standing at the edge of this door, after figuring out the law of 5 beasts, the door swings open, and you can see light coming from the inside of a nice tunnel in here. Not tunnel, a nice hallway. It's not a cave entrance you have found. It's an entrance into an actual dug out underground fortress here. It's brick floors, brick walls, brick ceiling. There's torches and doorways and things, and it looks pretty well maintained for what it is. But you have yet to set foot within there. What do you all want to do? Do you want to come back after you get another night's rest since it's late, or do you want to go in there first and then maybe come back out only if you need to? You got some options here.
We might as well, I don't know if it's our too hurt, right? We can at least peek our heads in.
Jib's half health, almost.
Jib is fine.
Jib's half health is still more than my full health. That said, reminder to refresh hero points, everyone.
Oh,
Thank you.
And I have plenty of healing potions, or I did not use many of my spells, so I could do a quick heal if I need to.
Let me go ahead and put you at the edge of this map as well. Some of you may not be able to see just because you're around the corner to the door, but there's an open door right here. And if you poke your head in that direction, you should be able to see down the hall. Just a little bit at least.
Jib, you only get 2 hero points, I think, unless you had one from...
Oh, my bad. I got confused because my DM in my Tuesday game just changed the rules, so we start with 3 hero points.
Ah, gotcha. Very cool, very cool. If anyone wants to take a torch out to see outside better or whatever, you can, but it's well lit in there, so won't be a problem once you get in there.
Sure, I have a torch.
There you go.
Do I see any traps?
Give me a
Also,
perception.
Why is Ogden still Fierge?
That's Jib.
Oh. Sorry, the tokens are overlapped.
This is a very afraid
okay.
monkey.
I didn't take any fear from the thing, because fighter, yay.
Yay. So give me a perception check. Okay. So looking down this hallway, You can see. Let's see. What actually can you see from your angle here? So looking down this hallway, you don't see much from here. At least the immediate entrance here, like, these rows of steps going down appear pretty clean. But you only see like the roughly 20 feet in front of you seem pretty untrapped, if that makes sense. But hard to see the other stuff at good detail.
Well, I will move in 15 feet then.
All right, so you move down to the edge of the stairs, and it's well lit in here. It's easy to see, and now that you get a little closer, you can see that the floor panels right up in the intersection appear a little bit suspicious. They're lifted up like a centimeter over the ones around them.
Okay, can I go up to them and attempt to disable trap?
Yeah. So you can go ahead and roll thievery, but I think looking at them, it's kind of tricky. It's going to be a very hard check to try and disable the plates themselves. It looks like you'd essentially have to like lift these stones up out of the ground without triggering it, which would be pretty difficult.
Okay, is this blind, or we know if we disable it or not, right?
Yeah, you'd know if you disable it or not, and I should look up the rules for disable device, because I don't know if you would trigger it when you fail it in this case. Only if you're not only on a critical failure. Okay, so this is going to be a hard check, but you can certainly try it.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Did you want to cast guidance? Is that what you said?
I was going to, yeah.
I think that's fair. If we were playing in a real game, we could throw the dice and you would have had a second there. So the foundry speed should not penalize you. So guidance goes out. Ogden should get guidance immunity for the next little bit here. Is there actually an easy effect for that, or do I have to just pull up the spell guides?
If you
Guidance
throw the
immunity.
spell in the chat, I can
There we
just
go.
drag it.
I got you.
Oh, okay.
The foundry quick search thing is good. So Ogden, guidance saved you here because that would have been a crit fail.
Wait, really? A
it would've-
21?
Yes, no, a 20 would have been a crit fail. The 21 made it not a crit fail. It was a DC 30 to disable the trap in this way. As you look down there, you can see you try to pry these stones out, and they're just too heavy for you, and so you just set them ever so gently back in, but they almost slipped out of your grip. It was a very close call. But like after touching these stones and trying to pry them out, you realize they're not like floor plates here, but actually like maybe 3-foot tall stone blocks that sink deep into the earth. They appear to be made specifically to counteract this kind of tampering. There we go.
Okay. Does it seem like there's anything easily accessible that can be disabled?
Yeah.
Like, are there wires or something
you
in the
rolled-
wall?
I rolled a good enough check here. Excuse me. There appears to be a panel on the wall up here now that you're a little closer to the intersection. So if you manage to make your way over there, you could see something about that. But also, you know the traps here. So I'll say with that high of a perception check, in the ceiling around this area, there is, especially now that you can see from your angle, Jib can't see it, nobody up the stairs can see it, but you looking up the stairs can see a nozzle in the ceiling right here, angled towards the intersection. And then you quickly peek into the intersection around the other corners, and there's a nozzle like right here, there's a nozzle right here, there's a nozzle right here. All 4 of them are pointed towards the intersection and look primed to spray something.
Can I roll an athletics check to try to jump?
Yeah, you
Over
want
to
to try and
here?
like jump nimbly over without touching the floor. Yeah, absolutely. I think normally for that kind of distance, I would just give it to you, but it's kind of tricky to not touch the floor and to like avoid that corner and stuff. It's just an awkward angle. So athletic makes some sense. Yeah, I think that's easy enough. So I'll move you directly there without passing through the thing. Didn't actually work as well as I hoped, but
Are all these doors supposed to be open?
it is a metal grate, like a metal bars.
Ah, okay.
Yes, yeah. This appears to be like a prison cell or something. So there's like iron bars and iron bar doors, like a gate. You manage to jump over the pressure plates. You land on that side and just like kind of skid to a halt a little bit on the ground, trying not to step on any other places you haven't inspected yet. But so far, it looks pretty good. You don't see any other pressure plates over here.
Okay. I will. And you said this was the panel?
Yeah, there appears to be a control panel of some kind there.
All right, I will attempt another thievery check on it.
All right.
Oh yeah. Oh,
All right. So that is a critical fail.
can I
This
hero
was an
point?
easier check. You can hero point it, yes.
I'm
This
gonna
was an
do
easier
that.
check than the other one, thankfully. But yes.
Reroll using a hero point.
Okay. So not a success, but not a crit fail. Um so you get over there and you attempt to like open this panel itself, basically. It's I mean, honestly, I think the panel just opens. It's not locked. You just open up the panel and you can see some machinery inside. And it looks like there's a bunch of tanks of some kind of fluid in here that are all hooked up to pipes. And there's some sort of machinery that will pump the fluid and that kind of stuff in here. And you just look at it, and there doesn't seem to be an obvious way to disconnect the tanks safely, like any way to shut off the fluid from moving or anything like that. So you're unable to like perfectly dismantle this right now, but yeah.
Okay. Does it all look flammable?
Give me a crafting check. I think that makes the most sense here.
And I'll do this blind because
Yeah. So it does indeed resemble some kind of alchemical fuel tanks for sure. So it looks like this trap would spray fire.
okay. And are there any sort of runes in it, or does it seem like a limited amount?
A limited amount of fuel.
Fuel, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like there's a limited amount of fuel. There's a couple tanks hooked in there, and it like I said, it looks like the tanks can disconnect. You're just kind of worried right now that if you pulled them out, it would just start dumping the fluid in the system, and there's no way to like make sure the system doesn't flow back into the tank at the moment, right? So it would just be tricky to dismantle it safely.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about jumping back across and having our resident fire person just blast the tank.
Oh,
Kaboom. Because it feels a little cheesy to just like spend a good amount of time here just trying to pick this over and over again. I mean, I know time is passing, and
So, well, I think that's totally fair because A, yes, time is passing, and B, you have a limited number of hero points, and there's always the chance you crit fail, right? So there's it's not actually like free to do this. You can do it, but there's always a risk every time you roll that it'll actually trigger the trap. So you can try it as many times as you want. You can go back to your allies and strategize something else. You can try to find a different way around the trap, or you could even just have all your allies try to jump over the plates every time. I mean, it's whatever way you guys want to handle it. It's up to you.
okay, I will attempt to jump back around the corner, and I'll roll the athletics check. Kaboom!
Oh, it's so easy. You just like from the panel, you don't even take a running start. You just crouch down and leap across and land back where you were.
All right, and I will tell everyone that it seems to be a flammable liquid in tanks, and everything that we just talked about.
All right. Yeah. I mean, if we can I just do produce flame at the things? If you guys all step way back?
Yeah, I mean
Yep.
everything seems to center into that corridor, but we just might need to prepare for people checking out what's happening, but that's easier than triggering a trap on our own.
Ogden, you saw the trap. You saw the things in there. I think you would know that this kind of fuel, this alchemical fuel, is pretty potent. Um, is designed to burn for quite a while and to burn pretty violently. So if you want to set them off, you absolutely can. I'm just warning you ahead of time. This is an extremely dangerous course of action. If you have good preparation for it, you might be able to pull it off. I just don't want you to go into this and then be surprised when you create a very, very large fireball.
That's why Ayala stepped outside and hid behind the corner.
Okay, I mean
I like the idea. I just want to, if you've got some way to still hit that thing from very far away or something, then I, just wanted to warn you of the danger at least.
I mean, I do have the double the distance on a spell.
Yeah,
you
it's
do
just
have
kind of
to aim it around the corner.
yeah, it's an
Right.
awkward angle because it's around the corner.
Hmm.
What if we just break um, the nozzles, and then that way we can conserve the fuel tanks and potentially use them as a weapon later?
Would they, if we triggered the trap, would that cause the walls to explode?
I mean, I can attempt to disconnect it again, but I don't know if I would want to be there when it goes up in flame.
Do we need to disconnect it?
I mean,
Are the nozzles themselves trapped? Because if they're not, we could just destroy them somehow.
I mean, if everyone thinks they can jump over the plate consistently, we could do that, but
yeah, I was thinking that might be our best bet.
and I mean, I didn't even listen to know if there were people around, so I'm not sure of that either.
Can I get close to where the trap is and take a quick listen?
So this block is safe.
Yeah, the trapped plates are the four in the intersection, basically.
Okay.
Like so.
Sorry about that.
You're good. I figured you didn't mean to go past.
So yeah, I would do perception. Make it blind so that it actually counts.
Yes. So you poke your head in without stepping in the middle and just kind of look down that way and try to listen, but you don't hear anything. Seems pretty quiet in here in general.
Okay. Um
Oh, is there anything outside we could attempt to roll down the stairs?
Hmm.
I'm outside. I'll look around. Is there anything?
I mean, there's plenty of little rocks and things, depending on what size of thing you want to roll down there. Yeah, some good football-sized rocks you might be able to trigger a pressure plate with, or if you really want like larger boulders to roll, maybe. None are super obvious, or I mean, you might have to pry some things out of moss and tree roots and things if you want something that large, but could be done.
I mean, if a football-sized one will trigger a pressure plate potentially,
Might
is
as well
that an
try.
athletics check?
Yeah, if you want to like all back up the stairs and just chuck it down there, that probably an athletics check would make sense.
Cool. I kind of want to try that. Shay?
Oh yeah. Sorry, Joanna spaced out.
It's okay.
All right.
Rock throw. Oh.
Pick up a little rock nearby, chuck it down, and it's not a very hard check, so don't worry about it. It kind of skips on the stairs a little bit and then skitters across the floor and does land in the middle of the intersection. You see one of the plates on the floor sink down, and you hear a click, and then whoosh from all four directions of the intersection, pointed towards the middle, covering. Here, why don't I just keep drawing things? Why not? Covering this much space in each direction. So for like the 10 feet in each direction from the intersection, basically. There's just fire into the middle, and the middle just gets super cooked by all four nozzles. So whoever would have stepped in the middle potentially could have gotten hit by multiple. And it's just a ridiculous mess of fire down there. And the fire just keeps spraying. It just whoosh, whoosh. It's just like a flamethrower is just being held down. It has no sign of stopping at the moment.
Well, do
Well,
we want to go take a nap somewhere?
Yeah, I mean we could sleep and see what happens. See if it's still there in the morning.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. I can use a nap.
All right. So you guys all head out to find camp somewhere. How about you give like somebody give me a survival check or something to find a good spot to camp.
Who has the best survival?
I don't think mine is very good, even though I'm naturey.
I think we might be tied for survival. No, mine is barely above average.
I have a +1, so that's not.
Same.
Hey, Sam.
All right. I guess one of us random. I'll do it.
Oh,
if
sorry.
you-
Jib has a +7 in survival.
Oh!
Jib.
I don't know. I could have sworn someone else was trained and had a higher one than me, but I guess not.
You have Alexander.
Jib will roll survival. Is it a private roll or a blind roll rather?
This can be a public roll.
Okay.
So if you guys want,
So, yeah, you head out a little distance from this place, trying to keep it not too close. So, just in case. But also not so far that it'll take you like hours and hours the next day. So maybe an hour away, something like that, you find a relatively flat, relatively dry spot that's secluded by a lot of the shrubbery around it. And you hope this will be a pretty good spot to just hide and lay low and get some much needed rest.
yeah.
Is it still within view of the presumably glowing tunnel entryway?
I guess I'll leave that up to you guys as a decision. Do you want to go farther away so you're safer, or do you want to stay closer so you can see it? Because as my description was, like I said, maybe an hour away so you're safe. But if you want to stay closer than that, you absolutely can.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I just had stuff going on sound-wise on my end and
No worries.
didn't retain.
Can
So,
I be
either
covering
way.
tracks while we are moving?
Absolutely. I think that's also survival, or is that stealth?
You cover your tracks moving at half speed. You don't need to attempt a survival check to cover your tracks, but anyone attempting to track you must succeed at a survival check
Ah, yes.
against
Okay.
your survival DC.
All right. I get. So, just for the record, what is your survival DC?
Is that just
10 plus your bonus.
oh, so 11. That's not good.
All right. Well, hey, it's something.
They have
You
to
just do your
knock
best.
natural one, right? At least.
They, I mean, higher than that probably, unless they have like really, really good perception. But
Wait, against your survival DC if it is higher than the normal DC to track.
okay. So the normal DC to track. The GM determines the DC of such checks. Fair enough. So yeah, you probably don't help that much then. The normal DC to track is probably a little higher than that for this kind of terrain.
Okay, well, I think I'm helping.
Yes. So, how do you guys set up for camp? And you gonna set up a watch? You gonna chat with each other? What's the camp life like?
I think we definitely want to set up a watch tonight.
Yeah,
Probably.
I set up my tent.
Everybody just setting up their tents and bedrolls.
Yeah.
I find a tree and put my bedroll on it.
And I figure I will be either first or last in the order of watches because of armor donning.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Although, do you need to remove leather armor?
There's a tag that lets you sleep in it. I think it's like the comfort tag or the comfortable tag.
Ah.
So if it doesn't have whatever that tag is or anything that sounds like it, like I think some people in the party have like armored robes, and those do have that tag.
It's like most robes have like the comfortable tag, but
Comfortable,
Yeah,
that's
no.
the one.
I need to take it off then.
That's the
Yeah.
race of
yeah, comfort tag. I have explorer's clothing that has comfort tag.
like the winged mermaid siren thing. That would
All right. So with a group of size 4, the total time of a watch will be 10 hours and 40 minutes. So you guys will be you'll be able to be up by it'll be up by like 8 or 9 in the morning, I guess. Actually, it would be more like 7. So, yeah, plenty. Perfect timing for watch to start. Sounds like Ogden taking the first, just to go with that.
Yeah,
Sure.
make it easier.
Does anybody have dark vision?
I don't.
No,
I
I
have
have-
low light vision.
same. If we get to level 5, I'll have dark vision.
I have dark vision, I believe.
I don't know.
Okay.
You might have
Where do I see
low
it?
light vision as well.
Jesus, Song, you scared the shit out of me.
I think
I can also just
Nope. Jib has dark vision.
Yes. Oh, I see it now. It's under my perception. Yeah, I have it.
Sweet.
You can see it on the party thing.
Oh yeah. I can pass around my torch for watches as well if we're okay having a little bit of light. That way we can see if we need it.
Just to be
Yeah,
clear, it's not a little bit of light. That is a
True,
very shiny
true.
beacon of light and blue. But you can do that. I just want to set the expectation that it is bright.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for the reminder.
I mean, maybe you could like half cover it or something, but yeah, as is at least, it's pretty bright.
Yeah.
I can attempt to do a stealth check on it.
um, yeah. So we doing torch things. Jib has dark vision and probably doesn't need it, but
I could use the torch. I can't see it all at night.
yeah, and for low light vision in particular, that's for it doesn't do anything for you in darkness. It only helps you in low light specifically. So having some light is good. That's like having a candle with you or something will help with low light vision. But yeah.
So it doesn't work for moonlight?
Moonlight maybe a little bit if you're out in a clear spot, but you're in a pretty deep, like thick forest right now.
But is it dummy?
Dummy thick forest, yes, exactly. But normally, yeah, I'd say the moonlight would be low light. All right. Any other preparations for the watch? Are you saying yes to the torch then?
Yeah.
I like torch. Torch good.
All
We're
right.
about an hour away, so
Yeah, it might be better to see people coming than to try to
Yeah.
avoid notice. Yeah. Okay. So then,
But no one will be tracking us because I covered our tracks.
yeah, that's also true.
Yeah.
All right. So you all pass the night pretty peacefully. We don't need to go watch by watch here, thanks to Pathfinder's watch rules, in which I would just roll to see which of you had something happen on their watch, if something were to happen. But for tonight, you're fine. You moved far enough away from this place. Nobody tracked you, or they failed to track you if they did, and nobody came to disturb you in your sleep. And so you all get the benefits of a rest, which means you heal equal to your Constitution modifier, you regen all of your like daily resources, all that stuff. You can do your preparations. So rise and shine in the morning, and everybody please consume a ration from their inventory if you need food, which I believe all 4 of you do.
And soon.
Consume. And then is it straight back to the dungeon?
Jib did not take a long rest.
It wasn't very sleepy.
I want to turn this quest in, and I'm
There we go.
determined.
Okay. I'll start the day by spending 10 minutes treating wounds on Jib.
All right. Could probably do that while Ogden's putting on his armor.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We don't get full HP when we long rest on this one.
It's leaving them.
Yeah, it's Constitution modifier times level.
Oh, can you make that not public? Sorry.
Not public. Yes, I
Or
can.
not
Already not public.
Okay, Jib, you get 8 points of healing.
Thank you.
You good to go, or do you want to spend an hour to top up?
Here's what I love.
That should be good.
I'm loading.
Zip says, "Let's go."
All right.
Alrighty. And I believe
I
I
guess
can
back we
also
go.
do this to make it daytime out. There we go.
Ooh.
Daytime. Daytime.
Daytime. And so, a little bit later, an hour later, so you arrive back at the dungeon, ready to go.
Is the fire done?
The fire is done, yes. I'll leave those squares there just to mark clearly where you saw the fire hit before, but there's currently no fire.
How charred is it?
There's like some soot on the walls and stuff, but the stone hasn't been. It's not like it melted stone or anything. It's not that hot.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go up 4 steps and attempt to look at that panel and see if it's been tampered with from where I left it.
All right, so you look over there. I won't make you roll for that. You left the panel open because you were just, planning on maybe shooting at it. It is now closed.
Is the rock gone?
The rock is gone. Yep.
The one that was triggered, does it seem like it's reset?
Yep. All the plates are at their normal level.
Curses.
Can I cast fake message? Whisper on the wind?
To who?
To Ogden.
Sure,
Because I
he's
don't know if
within
there are
range.
people nearby.
Yeah.
Is there still fuel in the traps?
I would walk back to the door and tell everyone it seems to have been reset in the night.
That is a good question, though. Is there still fuel?
The door is closed, so I do not know.
Yeah, the panel was closed. You guys left it open.
Okay, so safe to assume it got refilled, maybe?
I'm gonna walk up to the bottom of the steps and attempt a perception check to see if I hear any movement around the corners. And if
Sure.
I don't, I'm going to attempt to jump over and open the panel again because it wasn't locked or anything. So there's
Absolutely.
blind perception.
All right. So you move up and you just try to listen around the corner. And I'm just double checking. I think the search action is a 30-foot cone, right?
I believe so.
Because the chaise
Let me
gives
check.
60 foot. So I just want to see how far that reaches. Okay. Listening down around that corner, you hear something shift a little bit, something jingle. And you hear a harsh whisper.
Okay, can I walk up to here and peek around?
Yep, you just peek your head around real quick and look down that way, and you don't see anything with a quick peek. So you could probably assume that, you heard like a jingle and what sounded like a harsh whisper, like a be quiet type of whisper, but in a language you don't understand. But that's the vibe you got from it. So you could probably assume that whoever is in that direction is hiding.
Okay. I will go back to everyone and inform them of language I do not speak, someone hiding.
Can we just fight them?
But if they reset the trap, I don't want to deal with all that fire. That was nasty.
Were we able to tell if it was reset or not?
It appears to be.
Okay.
Yeah, every indication so far is that it has been.
The only thing we don't know is if it has fuel or not.
There.
We could just throw another rock.
You got Andy up.
Or we could try and attract someone and then throw a rock.
We could, or If we could maybe see if we could bait them out. And maybe I could use a spell.
I could send Nocti down the hallway.
How long has it been since we fought the whatchamacallem brothers?
The Leadbuster lads?
Yeah.
A couple weeks.
Okay, cool. So my rat has regenerated.
Ah.
A rat does seem more natural.
It is a giant rat, but yes.
Well, I mean, they're summoning stuff from what we understand. But...
Ogden, you're good at athletic stuff, right?
Yeah.
If I hand you this figurine, can you toss it gently out of the line of fire or around the corner over the plates?
Well, there is a gate at the edge of where the fire is, at least from what we can see. So if we assume it went 10 feet.
Will the rat figurine fit through the gate?
You could probably fit it through the gate manually. It would be you'd have to. I honestly, if you wanted to
Okay.
throw it through the gate, it would have to be a nat 20 to like miracle lineup.
Okay. Yeah. I wasn't
But-
sure like how big the gate was.
Yeah,
Because in my head I think I was picturing something a little closer to a portcullis type of gate.
yeah, it's like it's a prison gate. It looks like Ogden looking there. It looks like a bunch of jail cells and stuff. So it's meant to keep people in and out. It's not really meant to block tiny things, but yeah.
And I would say if I'm jumping over there, I'm opening that panel to see if there's fuel. That would be what I would do instead of placing a rat. Because if they're going to see something, they're going to see me jumping over there probably.
Put the rat in the fuel, let it start chewing on pipes.
Nah, just at least see if there is fuel. Because if there's not, I'm going to just tell everyone, like, no fuel. Unless they put it on the other side of the wall and then we all get burned.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, the other option is, yeah, so I can use the rat. I could, though I do run the risk of burning the rat, like, permanently.
Or I could send Nocti.
Does Nocti float?
Nocti does float, right?
I mean, clouds are lighter than water.
Nocti can probably float. Yeah.
Nocti floats.
Nocti is functionally like a little air elemental. So.
Oh, you mean float in the air? I thought you meant on water.
Oh. Probably that too, though. Yeah.
So, yeah, if you could send Nocti in just to gauge the response, at least.
All right. Hey, Jordan, what does Nocti do now?
So Nocti can move around and can deliver like touch spells for you and stuff. Oh boy, I can look up more stuff, but it's very complicated because the rules for this are, in my opinion, kind of poorly laid out. In that this feat says you get another feat, that feat says you get another feat, that feat says you get another feat. It's like a chain of things that all automatically grant you other things, and none of the rules are in one place. But I think pet is the end of the chain where all of it starts. So you have a pet, a tiny animal, yada yada yada. A pet can't make strikes.
Yeah.
Your familiar stuff basically gives you the ability to actually command it more than normal, because a normal pet you'd have to make checks to even give it commands, but you just automatically succeed. Essentially like that, and then it has the rules for how they scale, different passives they can have and stuff. But I think delivering spells is a big one. And then eventually at higher levels you could give your pet more abilities and stuff. But so yeah, delivering spells, it can take all the other actions. It could search, it could, I don't know, try to disable device if it has those skills.
I mean, I think
it can take skill things.
I think even just opening the door to see if there's fuel.
Yeah, something like that. I don't think you can look through its eyes though. I think that's a different thing.
Well, I mean, I would walk up to look once the panel's
yes, that's fair. I'm just trying to remember what familiars do, because I don't think so. I don't think it's like a D&D familiar where it has a ton of stuff built in. But you could like get feats to upgrade it and stuff.
I mean, I can make Nocti meow at me, right? Meow once for full or twice for empty. Something like that.
Exactly. So you can communicate empathically with your familiar. You can share emotions, but it doesn't understand or speak languages except your commands. Yeah, you can only share emotions, not senses. Unless, of course, there's tons of upgrades you could get to customize all this, but the basic stuff is, it's a normal character you have access to. It can do all the skill actions and things if it has the proper training. It just can't take strikes is the only restriction.
Okay.
And actually, now that I'm seeing it, I think the delivering touch spell things is an upgrade, not something you have by default. So, yeah. There we go. I think we're finally figuring out. It's a twisted web of rules for this thing, but I think we got it. I think it's witches automatically get that, which is what I was thinking of. Something like that. Anyways, so you could theoretically send Nocti floating over there and just open the door.
Did we ever check around the other corner?
There is a door around the other corner, but Ogden did not go up to it yet, no. It's a more solid door.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna send Nocti over and have her open the door the best of her ability.
Okay. So no check needed for this. I think Nocti can just float over, and it probably does take a little bit of strength for Nocti to open this door, but not so much that it's risky. Just to pull on this stone door to swing it open, because Nocti is now very small. This floofy little cloud kitten swoops over there, pulls on the door, and it slowly swings open. And Ogden, you can see in there now that the door is open, what appears to be like a little bit of spilled fuel on the side that appears like fresh, and B, yes, there are a bunch of new fuel tanks in there.
Do we want to try the rock again?
How much reserve of fuel do you think they have? They can't have infinite, right?
Well, I mean, it seemed to be I'm no expert, but it was explained as an arcane fuel, so I would assume as long as they have the spell slots, they have the fuel.
Sorry to clarify, alchemical fuel.
Alchemical, okay.
It's like alchemist fire type stuff.
Well, they at least had enough to refill at once.
I mean,
Now,
you could run through all the rocks of nature and see if there's more rocks in nature than they have fuel.
Sky, think it would be super funny to just like spend a week throwing rocks.
Based.
I mean, we have all day. We could set off the trap, and when they come back to try and refill it, ambush them.
Hmm.
I like
I
that
would be
plan.
down for that.
Or you could shoot fire at the tanks that they're carrying.
And Otari will see its first nuke.
That works. Most of my ambushing does tend to involve fire, yes. I think that might be the safest option because if we go charging in, they have home turf. They know we don't know what's in there. We could be going into like just a room full of enemies.
Yeah.
Rock throw, rock throw.
Rock.
You grab a rock. I
Gonna
won't
make
make you
sure
roll.
I float knock D out safely beforehand.
I won't make you throw a rock at this, and I won't make you roll for throwing a rock at this point. So you chuck a rock down there, it just skips a few beats on the way, and then lands in the middle. Fire erupts as you expect. You guys just chill at the entrance for a bit.
Yeah, I just sit down at the stairs.
All right.
Yeah, let's wait till it goes out this time.
Yeah, I think I would keep an ear out from behind.
Okay. I will
Just to make
say
sure that nobody can sneak up from us from the outside.
it is a pretty roaring fire. But yeah, if you're outside, like in the nature area out there, it's a little easier to keep an ear on the outside around you at least. So yeah, you can be keeping watch.
Yeah, I figured they can keep an eye on it, and once I hear the fire start dying down,
Yeah. So
I
if
then
you're
start waiting for people. But I do want to make sure we don't get snuck up on in the meantime.
yeah, so if you're keeping watch, can I note your perception DC? Should be 10 plus your bonus.
I have a +7 to perception.
All right, so DC 17, and you just keep watch outside. Anyone else doing something specific during these 10 minutes? Because that's how long passes. 10 minutes pass, and the flames die down.
I was gonna check around the rock walls outside to see if there were any like hidden doors.
Yeah, you can do that during those 10 minutes.
Okay.
Give me a perception check to search.
Perception. Slide.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look around the area and you're pretty confident this is the only entrance in the immediate area. I mean, you didn't go like a full lap around the hill or anything, but doesn't appear to be anything nearby. So the fires have died down after 10 minutes.
And so I guess we can either start making our way in or wait and see if we see anyone.
I'm definitely trying to be sneaky at this point.
Yeah, let's try and be sneaky.
All right, I'll stay a few feet back just in case because the whole spouting ash thing and being easily distracted makes it difficult to sneak around.
All right. Well, for everyone who is sneaking actively, give me some stealth.
Wow.
This can only go poorly.
Not one.
I'm gonna still try and sneak. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm staying 10 or 15 feet behind just in case, and also all of my spells are ranged anyways, so.
Yes. So let's have you move up. Where are you going? Where are you sneaking?
I'll go right here.
All right. The stone and walls around you are kind of hot at the moment. There's just like a hot air in here, but the flames are gone at least.
I'm gonna sneak up to right about here.
All right. And how close behind is Ashay following? So now you said a little bit back. I'd just like to find how much.
Let's see. The sets of squares are 5 by 5, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I would probably stay here, like trailing 15 feet behind the person in front.
Okay, that sounds good. So all of you get up to the edge of this intersection, but not quite into it. What are you doing now? Oh, yeah, except
I
for
am
Ashay.
following Ogden's lead because Ogden is the sneakiest of us.
I am definitely listening down this hallway to see if the keys are still jingling.
Okay, yeah, perception check.
Blind GM, yes.
No, I don't hear anything.
Hmm.
Do I hear anything?
You can give me a perception check.
Now that we are up to the tanks in the thing, I don't know if Naki left the door open. Are they empty?
It's hard to tell. I don't think they were like transparent tanks. They were just tanks.
There's just like one little sight glass in them.
I mean, they were just like opaque, just like gas cans, basically. I mean, but fantasy
Mm.
gas cans. Fantasy steampunk gas cans. And there's some light shining in there, but it's just hard to see. If you got closer and like looked in, maybe you could find out, but yeah. I don't know. From here, it's tricky. You might do like a thievery or a crafting check when you get up there to check that.
Well, does Ayla hear anyone?
No.
Well, I'm going to attempt a jump.
Give me that athletics.
Oh yeah.
Boing. You make it across.
Whee!
And you rolled so high, I'll say you maintain sneakiness.
Cool.
Step with very light feet at the end of your jump.
I don't know if the two people want to step back out of the flame range while I check the tanks.
Looks like no.
Okay. Well,
Don't step that, just in case. It's not that I don't trust Ogden.
But
it's that you don't trust me.
what was this for?
You said I needed to do it. Oh wait, that was stealth,
no.
not thievery.
Yeah, I was saying
Oops.
you're like maintaining your sneakiness when you jumped over. Yeah, but if you want to do thievery or crafting to check the status of the fuel, you could.
Thievery. Would this be blind?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this would technically be a recall knowledge check. Okay. It looks like some of the fuel has drained, but not all of it. But you've definitely removed a good chunk of it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to attempt to jump back.
All right.
Does it look like the stone reset itself afterwards? I don't know if we asked that.
There's still a rock sitting on one of them, and that one has stayed clicked down, basically. But the others, I mean, all the other ones are fine.
Oh, we might need to click all 4 sections down.
All right. Here's my athletics to jump.
Easy. You make it back.
And then I will recommend that we throw more rocks, more fire.
All right, back up to the top and rock toss 'em.
Yeah.
Hiding around the corner.
I don't hear any disagreements. So you toss another rock. It clicks down the staircase and hits in the middle once again, sinks into the floor. The flames erupt. Anyone want to do anything for the 10 minutes? Back to keeping watches and stuff?
Can I fashion a cat toy out of a leaf and
Absolutely. Crafting check.
entertain Nocti? Oh no.
Just to see how good it is. It doesn't have to be a crazy DC 10.
Oh.
You know? Hey! You have a cat toy for Nocti.
Can I just throw another rock in?
Sure. Toss another rock in. It disappears into the flames.
All right. Just to see if I can shorten our time so we don't have to do this quite so many times over.
Yeah. So about 10 minutes pass, and the fires stop once again. You can see the 3 rocks sitting in the middle.
Are the 3... Did they each land on a different section?
Yeah, sure. I'll say just for the luck of it, why not?
All right.
It's
So,
unlikely they'd land on the same section, so
one
let's
more.
go with that.
No argument from me. I'd rather a rock get burned than us, because we all know what fire did to us.
Yeah.
One more, and then I'm gonna jump over and start beating people up.
Extremely based. You chuck a rock down the hallway. Click, clack, click. Fire. And another 10 minutes pass. And the fires die down once again.
Nocti has gotten tired of her new cat toy and is taking a nap on Ayla's shoulder.
Aww.
All right. So I think one more rock for good measure, and then we can walk.
Yeah.
Click, clack, click. The rock settles. No fire.
All right.
Wahoo!
I am going to stay behind like before, but I think we can actually move forwards now.
Sneak up, sneak up, sneak up. Da, 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 da.
Yes, new round of stealth checks for everybody.
Oh, yeah. Hot, 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 hot.
Hot, 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 hot. Yes, the stones around you are very hot.
This is blind.
All right. So you're at the edge here. What are you doing?
Still following Ogden's lead.
I'm going to still be athletic about jumping because I don't want to hit the the trap. So there's a 17 to jump over here and like
This
check
time you're a
the
little less sneaky on landing. You kind of thud, but you regain your stealth afterwards. The gate appears locked when you go to like pull it.
Can I attempt a thievery?
Absolutely.
And this is public.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right. Take a look at this lock here. It's not terribly complicated, but it's a pretty old-fashioned lock, and it's clear that this building is from a long time ago. So you're able to pretty easily just get in there, get the tumblers out of the way, click, click, and then you pull the padlock off the door, and it's now open.
All right. I will wave the rest of my companions. over.
Instead of jumping, can I just sneakily take a big step around the corner?
Yeah.
Big step.
I'm still staying a little ways back.
Understandable. But
Alright,
who's
I
doing
guess-
what?
I guess I will go through the door.
All right. You open the door, and an ambush is sprung. We enter initiative.
Woo!
Woo! All of you rolled stealth, so we'll do that.
How bad was my stealth roll?
There's no active encounter. Oh, I do this.
Could I have opened my door at the same time as Ogden?
Yeah, sure. All right, and then boop, 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 boop. I do one of these, one of these. Apologies. Oh god, do I have to change all of these? If I want to make them all roll stealth for initiative, I gotta do it all individually. I should have pre-rolled this. Okay, there we go. Roll all NPCs. Yes.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Yeah, I knew it was menacing when I heard all.
All right. Jib, you were ready for a fight here. You knew even before you were coming in here that, like, yep, it's time to just whoop some ass. So before they even come out to strike you, you're ready to charge. What are you doing?
I'm running around looking for bodies. So let's go here.
You see a dude to the north and south of you that are only really obscured when you're out in the hallway.
This poor guy.
You see a little kobold in there with a crossbow pointed at you. Like, ah!
Let's go gorilla stance. And then flurry of blows.
Hell yeah. Big monkey punch. Definitely a hit.
Okay, and this is something I forgot last week is stunning fist.
Oh yeah.
Let me read what it does.
A fortitude save?
When you target the same creature with 2 strikes, okay.
Ah.
And if either strike hits and deals damage, okay. So then they must succeed on a fortitude save against my class DC.
All right. Well, they not 20'd it.
What's it?
All right, so then I'll just make another attack. That will miss.
That one will miss, but you do punch this dude in the face. You run around the corner. He's here with a crossbow, and you just, maybe this door is like slightly ajar, and you actually hit the door, and it just clangs into the wall and just absolutely crushes him against the wall. You just pop straight in the face. He's dead.
Love it.
Just pop right in the face, and that's that. I never actually began the encounter. There we go. That was 2 actions. Oh, you moved, so that's 3 actions. All right. Another one.
Are we supposed to be able to see the enemies? Encounter?
You should be able to see the ones that you've seen, which Jib has revealed 2 of them, but the others are still hiding, and you haven't detected them yet. If that makes sense. But they're going to reveal themselves when they attack, so it'll be very short. For example, this guy runs out of one of the local the cells here, points his crossbow, and just goes, "Ah!" and shouts something in a language none of you understand. and is going to make a strike against Jib, since Jib was just very violent a second ago. Boo! He misses. And so he is going to retreat back into his cell. And then it is... the next one's turn, which is just across the way from Jib. So he's going to just get to his door and just point his crossbow and fire. Boop. That is a 23, which I think is a hit this time. For 8 piercing damage to Jib. And then he will spend an action to reload his crossbow. And then it is Ogden's turn.
All right, cool. He made himself nicely shown here.
Indeed.
So since I'll let you be the ruler on this. Was it okay for me to have my smoking sword out but not my spark blade because I had to open the door, or had none of them because I just picked the lock? Probably none.
Yeah, you didn't say you took your weapons out before. I mean, you were sneaking around ready to... Oh, it was 8 points of damage, Jib. I'd say it's probably reasonable you would have taken at least one out while you opened the door. Because you were expecting trouble, right?
Yeah, okay.
Just worth specifying ahead of time, but yeah.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna move up and I'm gonna target this guy. Slash.
Get him.
There's a critical hit.
Oh, he is very dead. Let's see how much overkill this is.
That's 30 damage?
Oh my god. So he goes, "Ah!" He's still reloading his crossbow as you just take out this sword and you slice through his crossbow and just cut him in half immediately. Just whooshing, There's 2 kobold halves on the ground, seared and cauterized, so there's no blood.
Not for human consumption.
And then I guess I will draw my last weapon. And that's my turn.
All right. It is the dead kobold's turn, and then it is the Shay's turn.
Okay. Do I need to make an athletics check to hop over here?
If you want to avoid touching the middle, yes. But if you don't care about touching the middle now, that's up to you.
I don't think anybody else has, right?
No. Yeah, no, Ayla kind of took a big, not sneaky step around, but yeah.
Any chance I can do that too?
Once Ayla is out of that square.
Oh, I'm going the other way.
Oh, then yes, absolutely. I'll say it's just one action to do that, just to move around the corner like that as an improvised thing. A non-standard movement action.
And I cannot see any kobolds at the moment.
Yeah, they've all been jumping out of cells and back into them.
And it's... How much to hold stuff?
2 actions to save a single action as a reaction.
Okay, so I can't save a 2-action spell.
I believe that's correct. I'm trying to find the exact rules for that, but that's my recollection of it at least.
Alright, I am going to do some measuring and then I will see about some stuff.
Yeah,
yes. Single action or
the
free action.
Okay, cool. I am going to cast Ashen Wind.
Aha!
There.
All right, perfect. It's on the intersection between grid points.
Mhm.
All right. And that is a fortitude save, right? Yes, fortitude
Yes.
save. Okay. So Ogden, you see one in here that was hiding. The smoke erupts and it just starts coughing and stuff, so it's gonna make a fortitude save. As it crit fails. It is sickened 2. So it's just coughing and hacking up all this ash that's forcing its way down its throat, and it drops its weapon and stuff, is scrambling to pick it up, having a very bad time. Also, even though Foundry has stopped the AoE from moving through the cell bars, I think it absolutely would. So it's filling like the square here too, and the square and all that.
I figured as long as the bars were permeable, wind and ash would still work.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that because Foundry was assuming otherwise, but Foundry doesn't know their bars, so that was 2 actions. So it is that poor kobold's turn. I think he is going to spend an action retching, which he'll make a fortitude save again, which he fails. So he does not. It does not change. He's gonna spend another action to retch.
Oh,
He fails. He's gonna spend another action. He fails. He's just like just coughing on the ground and having a very bad day. Just rolling on the floor, like clutching his neck. And then it is the turn of this guy, who is going to walk up here and throw a spear. You can now see him as he tosses the spear. So he's going to target Ogden, who is now just barely in range.
Oh, and I think the...
I think it's an instantaneous, right?
I'm not sure.
It doesn't have a duration, so it's the creature in the area. So it's gone now. Because it has the concentrate trait, but again, concentrate is not a duration in this game. So I think it's an instantaneous puff of smoke that affects people.
Fair enough. That is an easy way to sicken them, is just a sudden explosion of ash.
Exactly, yes. Just they weren't expecting it, so they can't cover their mouth or anything. It just gets right in there, and it's bad. But this spear toss did miss Ogden. So... Oh, this is bad. He's going to just pull out another spear with his last action, I guess. And then it is Ayla's turn.
it is?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I'll use an action to take out my spellbook, because I
Alrighty.
was keeping it in my robes in case of fire.
Alrighty.
And then I'm gonna make it a little bit breezy in here. And as a part of that action, I will take a elemental blast at the kobold down the hallway that I can see.
Go for it.
18.
What's your ranged elemental blast?
60 feet.
Okay, he is in range then. That is a miss.
Okay. Well, try again. F.
Yeah, also a miss.
And that's all my actions.
And I guess, yes, I failed to understand what was being said earlier. And yes, I can reveal them in the tracker as well. That is something I can do. There you go. Now that you've seen them. All right. Jib, it's back to you. You have kobold blood on your hands.
Sorry, Discord mobile always takes a hot minute for me to get unmuted. And there's about to be more blood on his hands. And he's gonna run over here.
Okay, as you pass this spot on the ground, you trigger a trap. Please give me a reflex save.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a fail. Do you want to hero point it?
I do.
All right.
That's
Nice.
All right, that is a success. As you walk through that part on the floor, some spikes kind of shoot up from the floor and down from the ceiling, and you just roll out of the way and completely avoid them for no damage. And then you may continue your movement. Oh, a critical hit. Oh my god!
Holy fuck.
Wow.
So once again, BAM! He goes back into the wall in the back and dies. Just straight to his chest. He just flies back, crumples against the wall, and there's like a sound of the air escaping his lungs as he hits, just like a squeaking sound, and then he's gone. No more movement.
Poor dude.
Jib just like flying kicks the dude across the room. And then am I in can I reach him from here? This guy?
I'll give him cover, but yes.
Fuck it, I'll use my second move, I don't care. Can I not move twice in a round?
You can. I don't know if you can space flurry of blows out between movements.
Ooh, okay, then never mind. I will.
I think
Just
you have
take
to
the
finish
attack.
resolving an action, yeah.
And isn't Flurry of Blows on a single target?
It doesn't have to be.
Oh, okay.
You get bonuses. The stun has to be on a single target, but the
Yes, it does. I cannot stun.
I already had a.
but yeah, you can hit him with cover here, so might as well. Miss. So he just ducks behind the grate here, the metal bars, and just you barely don't have the reach to get him from here.
Since I still have another action,
Yes, you do actually. You're right.
I am going to run over here.
All right, just getting in that guy's face.
Yep.
All right. Well, it is that guy's turn. Let's see. He is going to attempt to tumble past you with an acrobatics check. I believe that's your. I think there's. Yeah, tumble through is that name of the action. Reflex DC. What's your reflex DC?
Mine is that just my 10 plus my reflex.
Yes. Yeah, your reflex saving throw. 19. Okay. He's gonna attempt it. All right. So he says you enter this room and he sees all the blood in your hands. He just goes. Ah! He drops his crossbow and just tries to roll around you to get out, and he succeeds. So he's gonna squeeze out here. And he's gonna take his hurried retreat action. And just run. And he's gonna run past Ogden. He does not know that Ogden has an attack of opportunity. However, the hurried retreat does prevent reactions, or it doesn't prevent reactions actually, but it does give him a bonus against them. So he's gonna run past here. So do you take the reaction against him? Oh
Yeah.
my god! Yes, you do. So he gets to here actually.
24.
Jesus. Okay, so he tries to set past you, and he's running so fast. He would be harder to hit normally, but You don't care, and so he runs up, tries to get past you. He's like, just running, fleeing from combat, no longer a threat. You just stab him, and he falls to the ground, just completely dead. And it is now your turn, Ogden.
Well, I'm gonna go with slashy this one.
Oh god, he's coughing up ash and ash and throw up on the floor.
I'm also going to use my exacting strike, so he is off guard against my second attack.
All right.
There is first one, 20 to hit.
Hit. You might not even need the second one.
There's
Oh,
a
you need the
14.
second one. You hit him down to the floor, and he's like down on the floor, and he just kind of weakly reaches up a hand, like.
Second one!
Oh my god!
Yo,
Jesus
I feel bad
Christ.
about this.
That's 26 damage!
You just stab him right in the. He's got his mouth open, like begging, and you just stab into his mouth, and he is no more.
Aww.
And we are out of combat.
That is 4 crits that we got on these kobolds.
Yes, that was an insane combat. Holy shit.
I mean, it's good for saving resources, but let's hope that isn't balanced out by crit fails in a boss fight.
Jib just comes out and raises his arm. And you just see him, he's just like covered in cobalt blood.
Oh god. Yeah. Are we the baddies?
Yes. What's a massacre?
Well, is there anything in these cells?
Yeah, you look around. You like loot the bodies and stuff.
Yeah.
We should
Okay.
also check for more traps, just in case.
This is fair. Yeah, give me some perception checks as you guys look around here.
Oh, yeah.
Ogden,
Actually, can I make mine at disadvantage because I'm just
Yes.
horrified?
you can
okay,
always.
I'm just
you can
gonna roll
always do
again.
that. I'll allow it. It's not a rule, but I'll allow it. Because disadvantage doesn't technically exist in the game, I don't think. But, alright. Ogden, so you see the spot Jib ran over. There's obviously a trap here, and there is another trap here as well. There's just spikes in the floor that if you step on like the wrong spot there, the spikes will just jut out. So just something to watch out for. But now that you know it's there, it's much easier to avoid than the other one. You don't need to like jump over or anything. It's just, literally not stepping on the wrong crack, basically.
It is how you break your mother's back.
And your
or
own
something.
with spikes. But for now, you're fine.
So, did that trap reset after Jib went over it?
Yes.
So I should have rolled reflex when I went from here to here.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and roll reflex. You're fine. You dodge out of the way, same as Chip did. You do the exact same rolling motion, and you're totally fine. Both of you crit passed.
Oh dear.
You also find on the big dude in the back that Jib also one shot, an arrow that appears where there we go. Yes, an arrow that you pull it out of his pack, and it's kind of glowing a little bit. It's giving off a faint glow.
Well, if I'm going to use crafting to try to identify it, and then if it's magic, I hand it to our magic
it's
detector.
glowing. It definitely looks magic.
Okay,
but,
I'll just give it to Shay then.
All right.
Magic detector.
Yes. Shay, would you identify this?
Sorry, what was that?
An item has been handed to you for identification.
Oh, sorry, I completely.
All good. So I assume you take a look at it?
Yes.
All right, give me a craft, or, well, I guess this will be Arcana check, because it's magical. All right, this is a shining arrow. It essentially lets you shoot the arrow into something, like a wall or whatever, and it will shine light around it like a torch where it lands for a bit.
Mm,
Okay.
that's pleasant.
You also found a key in here, which appears to fit the lock leading into this room. And double checking if there's anything else in here. That looks like it, though. Just their possessions that's on them, whatever equipment's on them, of course, if you want to yoink that. But this appears to be where they all lived. Even though it was designed originally as a prison, it appears that these kobolds just live here. Each cell is set up like its room. None of the doors have locks on them. So on and so forth. They just appear to have their own little kobold nests in these places.
Okay. Keep going, I guess. Jump over the trap. Do any of us use ranged weapons?
No.
I can't.
Okay, so we just sell the arrow then.
It is a negligible bulk item, so I'll just put it in the party thing.
Okay.
And I mean, if we throw it, is it able to light stuff up, or is it just if you shoot it?
It does say when shot in the text. So yeah, I think you'd need to shoot it. But it's, I mean, honestly,
Can we like shoot it with fire or lightning or something?
I like the way you think, but I think it's if you I honestly don't even think you need a proficiency with a bow. Like if you literally just get your hands on a bow, you could shoot it at something. Like if you want to make it super accurate, like I want to shoot the eye of that statue and make it glow, then that's tricky, right? But if you just want to say, I shoot the arrow down the cave to light it up, fine, just get a bow.
Well, good thing that these people have crossbows. Does that make me encumbered? Yeah.
Looks like you
Does
got
not.
it. Nice. Yeah, so the adventure text does say shining arrow, but they all have crossbows, so let's say it's a shining crossbow bolt. That makes sense. I don't know why it would be the other thing, so.
Why would they have it if they only have crossbows?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and
So
for dealing with this and the trap, you'll get 160 XP.
Wow.
As was the kobolds who were maintaining the trap as well.
So do we find more fuel?
Yeah, you maybe find some fuel cans back here that they were maintaining and stuff.
Sorry, didn't mean to move. There's a cat on my desk now.
Aw. How many days worth of fuel or activations worth of fuel do they have?
It looks, I mean, it looks like only a few cells are kept out here. You're not sure where the rest would be kept. But yeah, like it looks like this is a spot where like it's clearly a less dusty spot than the rest of the spots here, and like fuel cells are added and removed here pretty frequently based on the patterns of things being scraped around, and it doesn't look like the only source of the fuel spot, just like a secondary depot for the kobold to access quickly. But to answer the question more directly, it looks like from here they could refuel another 2 times.
Hmm. No more fire. Well, do we want to go straight across or to the left now?
They both seem to lead to doors. Maybe straight, so that we know things won't come from our left for at least a little bit.
That works for me. I'm good with anything at this point. Just make sure we're checking for traps along the way, please.
Yeah, I mean, the only one I saw down this hallway was the one in the middle, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think.
All right, what's this fun door?
It's a
Behind door
surprise.
number 1.
Well, like, do we not even see the door? Like, is it a wood
It is a
door?
solid
Is it-
door. Yes, it's a
Okay.
wood door.
Do we hear anything behind it?
No. It's a pretty thick door. Yeah, no,
All right,
it's a pretty thick door.
I
They have like
attempt
a
to.
heavy,
Alright,
like
yeah.
oak door, metal reinforced around the edges, things like that. Did you say you open the door?
I sneakily try to turn the handle to see if it opens.
Yep, it moves.
Is there anything inside with moving it a little bit?
Oh, you want to peek in?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see at the back of the room, you can only see like one angle through the door, right? Because that's how looking through a door works. But let's say the door opens inwards. So you push it open slightly and you can kind of see like in this direction outwards, right? So you creak it open and you can see another door out of that room over here, but nothing in the way other than that. It's just a well-lit room. You do, however, all over the floor see a bunch of like feathers scattered all around. Very, very large brown feathers. You push the door open
That's
further to see more.
suspicious.
Does Shay hear anything while I'm opening it?
You can give me another perception check, I guess. Now the circumstances have changed. A shake can,
Yeah,
that is.
I'm working on it.
No worries. Okay. So listening in with the door creaked open a little bit, you hear the sound of two very large creatures breathing slowly.
I will cast a message to Ogden and say, I hear two creatures. They're breathing slowly, so they might be asleep. But judging from the feathers, they can probably fly.
Hmm.
And then I will gently signal for Ale and Jib to just kind of stay still.
I guess after hearing the message in my head, I would look at Ayala and or Shay and point at the door and be like thumbs up or thumbs down.
This is a note for message as well. We might be slightly used to the D&D interpretation of it, but it doesn't actually silence you in this game. It says others can't hear your words any better than if you normally mouth them. Only the target can, basically.
Okay, so it's better for distances, not
Yes.
secrecy.
Exactly. It lets somebody hear you very clearly if there's like a lot of background noise and stuff too, I would imagine.
Got
but
it. Okay.
yeah.
So then I probably would have just whispered as quietly as I could.
Yes.
And then everybody else would hear.
That's fair.
All right, and then I guess I would say, do we want to continue this way? Really quietly?
Well, there's a door behind it. Again, I'm whispering, but I don't want
Yeah.
to deal with actually whispering in
No
front of these
worries.
mics. There's a door behind it, so we'll have to go this way eventually. We could let them sleep for now and check out the other side and see if there's more doors.
That seems like a good idea.
Okay, so I guess very quietly back away and close this one, and then we'll check on the other doors.
All right. Easy enough. You close the door gently. I'll just keep using Ogden's existing stealth check. And you all are free to move. This door appears very similar. Heavy, like oak door with metal reinforcement.
Listening.
The door is too thick.
Fair
Or at
enough.
least if there is anything on the other side, it's not loud enough to be heard through a door this thick.
Stealthy attempt.
All right. You go to twist the doorknob. It moves easily. You go to slightly move the door. It again opens inwards. And
Should I roll another perception check, or?
yeah, go for it. You hear the sounds of some wooden things being like rattled and shifted together, and a little bit of like muttering under one's breath, like a very deep, large voice, like something like that. Somebody scraping something metal against a rock. Somebody like tinkering with something. It sounds like somebody like maybe you hear even the sizzling of something in there, like somebody cooking. There are clearly several creatures inside here.
I will whisper to the group, several large creatures behind that door.
Well,
Sentient, because they can talk.
this one has movement, so do we want to start here?
Sure.
All right, I attempt to quietly open the door the rest of the way.
I'm going to step back so that Jib can have more rushing capabilities and I can do more ranged things.
All right. So Ogden, you push open the door, and you can see 4 ogres currently messing with different things. The one here is tossing some sacks of things down into this pit in the middle of the room, which appears an unknown depth. You cannot see the bottom from your angle. There's one near the wall here, which is actually facing away from you. So why don't I like shift something like this? Because they are like organizing some rocks and things near the edge of the wall, just like stacking them and letting them tumble. They're just preoccupying themselves, it looks like. The one back here is attempting to repair like a torture rack, and the one over here is cooking some meat on a little not even on like a fire, but it appears they have like a just a hot burning like coal that appears magical, like just a device that's heating. They're all currently preoccupied, so they haven't noticed you yet. But I will say, in all this bright light in here, it might be hard to actually sneak around. But right now, you have the drop on them at least. You could roll stealth for initiative and like rush into attack, all that kind of stuff, if that makes sense.
But stealth doesn't give us like a surprise round or anything like that.
It does give me advantages.
Yes, Ogden gets tricks for it. Rolling stealth for your initiative is basically just good if your stealth is really good.
That said, the entire party does not need to roll stealth for me to get my advantages, as long as I roll stealth for my initiative. I get it.
Okay, so yeah, I would wait for Ogden to move first.
The other advantage to rolling stealth for initiative, I guess, adjacent to a surprise round, is if you happen to roll lower initiative than all of them. Well, I guess that wouldn't happen in the case of perception because they'd notice your stealth anyways. There are some weird edge cases with rolling for stealth and initiative and surprises and stuff, but there's no like surprise condition or surprise round or anything direct like that. Yeah, but anyways, Liam is correct. The rest of you could roll perception if that's better for you or whatever.
Yeah, I would do perception and wait until I know the fight is actually happening.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely same.
Let's go ahead and roll that initiative now then.
Did you want to use my stealth roll for opening the door?
Yes, I will use that. I will roll for all the NPCs. They did not roll well. And then we'll see how Ogden's stealth check does here. Okay. You rushing into the room. The one cooking just happens to turn around as you are entering the room and happens to see you first. So they like drop their pan on the floor and point out at you and just bellow deeply. So you've lost your surprise, but the others, I mean, you are going to be very quick here, so that's good. You get your advantages and all that.
Yeah, I was going to say I have not lost my surprise technically.
No, you still rolled stealth for initiative. It's just that they were lucky.
Yeah, I don't get my advantages against the one cooking. That's the only thing.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so the one back here you do not get advantages against. But yes, the others you do. That's cool.
Yeah, because rolling what it is, surprise attack, you spring into combat faster. If you roll deception or stealth, creatures that haven't acted are off guard to you.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Well, with the initiative rolled, we can see what's going on here. You guys have a pretty strong advantage here. Most of you rolled higher than them. So we'll get to that next time because we are running up on time here. But you've cleared a trap. You've cleared an encounter. One room of the dungeon's complete. You're a little closer to level 5. And we're a little closer to the conclusion to this saga we've been on. Thank you all for playing this evening. I'll see
Thank you
all
for
in a week.
running.
We should have 657 XP, right?
That's what I have.